Then I get my YouTube alert on my phone. Yes. Good afternoon, Big D. Let's go. Got a new pope today. I'm fired up about that.
Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report. Hey everyone, it's
Gonna send out a pre-show tweet, so give me a minute.
Well, Mother's Day is upon us. Make her day with a beautiful 3-stone ring or a gorgeous Rolex from Sky Diamonds. Today, through Mother's Day, it's 40% off all diamonds.
Oh, there's a jeweler, Bobby. Listen, there's a jeweler on my show, and I don't have a jeweler. How about that? Hear this? Andrew, a jeweler.
I'm the audio guy. He's the sales guy.
Who was that? Who was that client?
I'm Josh Galindo.
Sky Diamond.
Sky?
Real estate. We're not
So
just real
it's
estate.
the Mother's Day
We're a
thing.
lifestyle brokerage with over 20 years of experience. When you work with us, you get more than a realtor. You get an entire team dedicated to creating an experience you'll love. From start to finish, we make buying or selling your home.
All right, we got Vince at 105. Yes.
No, we have the cop at 105.
The cop,
Vince
yep.
at 1245.
Yeah, Vince at 1240 next.
Terribles is offering a gas discount of, check this, 40 cents per gallon with the purchase.
All right, good to see some people here. I'll get to you in a second. Dubs.
Get 40 cents off per gallon of any fuel grade, including diesel, when you purchase a car wash in store or at the pump. That way you can fill up and keep shining. Offer valid at participating locations. Visit terribles.com to find
What else is going on? What else is going on in Vegas that's important I can put on a tweet? Any concerts, Bobby? Anything?
Sammy Hagar's still doing his residency.
Yeah. Sports related, there's UFC, I think.
Sports related, Golden Knights, game 2 tonight.
And I'm going to put...
The Aviators are 110 in a row.
I'm going to put a brought to you by Grimaldi's tweet out and give away a gift card today. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? I'm going to give away a $50 Grimaldi's gift card. You know, my son, who is in Phoenix, they have Grimaldi's in Phoenix, so he grabs some gift cards before he leaves.
They
work.
No
issue at all.
Right?
No issue at all. Welcome in, everybody. We got getting ready to start here in about a minute. Sending out the pre-show tweet. The pre-show tweet. You're all following on X at JT the Brick, I hope. All right, let's do a radio show. Why don't I bring up the Raiders rookie class here and get an idea? Raiders rookie class, which I have.
You're listening to the JT the Brick Show, where the Raider Nation has come to sound off and react for over 20 years.
It's the JT the Brick Show, broadcasting live from the Finley Cadillac Performance Studio.
Raiders bring a blitz. He takes up off the middle, and he's wrapped up from behind. Max Crosby.
Your silver and black home to sound off for over 20 years.
Open at the 35, racing to the 20, 10, touchdown Raiders.
And now, here's JT the Brick.
Out of the gate, JT with you as we begin today. Another day on the radio. How lucky am I? I'm thrilled to be here with Bobby in studio. My buddy Andrew Paul, who does all my business here with all of our proud partners. We got Grimaldi's gift cards today. Wow, I got Grimaldi's gift cards. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give away a Grimaldi's $50 gift card today. It's the best pizza I've ever had. And I'm going to give it to a local Las Vegan, however you say it, a local Las Vegas resident who can go to one of our 4 Grimaldi's if they have a good call. I won the smack off. I didn't get much for it other than a name and a career. So maybe I'll get a good Vegas call today, and we'll give away a $50 Grimaldi's gift card. My mom and dad are coming in next week, and, man, Dad loves Grimaldi's. Loves Grimaldi's. Goes to the one in Brooklyn, actually, when he's close by. So welcome in. We have a new pope. For those who practice and believe, that was a big day. As I'll mention next hour, I spent my entire morning watching for the white smoke. We got the white smoke, then we got a new pope, and it's the first ever pope from the United States of America, from Chicago, Pope Leo the 14th. So that was exciting today. It was riveting television. It really is. I mean, riveting television when you can keep a secret that long. I was joking with Bobby, like when the Raiders sometimes tip me the draft pick 30 seconds before the pick and I have to keep the secret. This is a much bigger secret, is when the Pope comes out there on the balcony, man, you don't know who it is. And then you're like, wow, it's an American Pope from Chicago. That was great television earlier today. So that took up a lot of my prep last night. My Knicks won. My Knicks are up 2-0. Do you know the Celtics have missed 75 threes in 2 games? That means they took 100 and made 25. That is just bad, man. That is bad. That is just terrible coaching, terrible. I mean, Bobby, you grew up a Celtic fan. You're a diehard, and you're watching that garbage. I mean, that's just pure garbage. 100 threes in 2 games. Wasn't it back in the old days that maybe a team took 100 threes a year? I don't know, maybe. And now they take 100 threes in 2 games. They lose. Steph Curry is going to miss at least 1 week from his grade 1 left hamstring. So we'll see what happens. Game 4 is Monday. Game 5 is May 14th. He won't play tonight. There's a lot of Dub fans. There's a lot of Dub fans who are in our chat on YouTube at JT the Brick YT, including Big D and the crew there. So if you're a Warrior fan, I'd love to take your phone call today in advance of this game tonight. This is a classic game where you don't expect Golden State even to show up with the bus. Like the bus doesn't even pull up. They're not even on the bus. And that's what the Celtics thought of the Knicks last night. And the Knicks, they were up 20. Celtics were up 20 in 2 games and lost both of them. Oklahoma City smashed Denver last night, smashed them into a pulp. And that's what should happen to the Warriors tonight. And Steve Kerr loves him some load management. I can tell you that. If Steve Kerr thinks this game's getting out of control in the 3rd quarter, he will call it off. He will raise the white flag and get everybody out of the game. The Knicks almost did that last night. They were down 20 in the 3rd quarter, and I'm like, oh, my God, they're going to pull everybody in like a minute. And they got some stops, and they were able to get it rolling here. We're brought to you by Golden Entertainment. They fuel the monologue. The best happy hour in town's 5 to 7, midnight to 2. Tonight's a great night, as always. So just go have a good time. And go have a good time at any of the PTs here in the Valley because they're a proud partner. They'll have the game on. It's a 6:30 start. So I'll secretly ask my wife to take me down there at about 4:45. She doesn't know that yet. Or I'll get an Uber because afterwards, it's Thursday. I'm going to have a couple of beverages because Modelo is our proud partner. And you know I love my bucket of Modelos on Friday. But I'm going to the hockey game tonight. And after the hockey game, you better believe I'm going to have a couple of Modelos. So if you're a hockey fan, Vince Sapienza, our teammate here on Raider Nation Radio, is a big hockey guy. He's going to join us at 12:45 Pacific. He'll preview the game tonight. And then we got a really fun guest who joined us last year. And I'm excited to talk to Steve Gramis, who's going to check in. And he's a part of the big football game that is coming up between the cops and the firemen. How about that? And that's over at Bishop Gorman. We'll tell you that at about 105, a game that gives back. And it's Police versus Fire, the charity football game. And it is Saturday, May 10th. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. I mean, how do you not go to that if you're somewhere over in Summerlin or in that area, if your kids go to Gorman or you want to check out that beautiful stadium and campus? So we'll promote that coming up. And then we're wide open the rest of the way. The number 702-365-9200 is the number. So got the alert today that the Raiders will have a rookie camp starting tomorrow, which is a pretty big deal because the Raiders had a great rookie class. And the rookie class is really the most important thing that's going on with the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders are a team, but now they have a new team because they had 11 new rookies. So tomorrow from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., Friday, May 9th, it'll be rookie mini camp over at the headquarters of the Raiders. And then select players, Bobby, will be at the podium at noon, so we'll be able to take some of that live. So if Ashton Genty speaks and we're on, we'll go to that live and see what happens there. So let's talk a little bit about this rookie class because I need a Raider topic here because I don't want to get arrested by the Raider Twitter police, which would be Twitter here. We got to lead with the Raiders here. And I want to talk about the Raiders rookie class. Sports Illustrated had it in the top 10. I thought it could have been one or two, but I read this column today by Dominic Michelle, who said Raiders rookie class named most impactful of 2025. And the Raiders franchise seems to be on the up and up, according to the column. After sitting at the bottom of the AFC West, the franchise looks to flip the page on the past and rewrite its future. The future, however, could be on display in 2025 as several new faces will don the silver and black. It was a terrific one. Everybody says it because of Ashton Genty being the franchise's first-round selector. He's the top player. He's the top running back in the draft. Remember, this is a franchise in the first 5 years of the Las Vegas draft selected Henry Ruggs. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Always mention Tina Tintor and her dog. That was brutal. And then we took Tyree Wilson, 7th overall, and we took Cleveland Farrell, 4 overall. We didn't do that this time. We took the best player with the need, Ashton Genty, who could have a ceiling of Barry Sanders. And I didn't say he's going to be Barry Sanders. I said it could be a ceiling. And he has the ability to come in and dominate. Genty, quote, is lightning in a bottle at running back. Already possesses the fine details of the receiver position many NFL veterans don't have. This is a guy that can get out there and do some things. So the Raiders, and look, Chris Trapasso, who we had on from CBS, the Raiders are coming in what has become a significantly more competitive AFC West. We need that T-shirt. The Raiders are coming. The Raiders are coming. So if you look at what the Raiders are doing, I try to take their rookies and I put them into the position breakdown and to see which rookies can start, because that's very important to me. Developing is very important to the team, right? The team, they got to develop players. What's important to me is drafting players who can win now because they're elite. That would be Ashton Genty at the top of the list. He will start, and his backup will be Raheem Mostert, who's really good. Oh, my God. He is really good. So when you think about that and what the Raiders should be able to do with Genty, then Bishop, receiver, and Thornton, one of those guys, Thornton, the 6'5", 4'3" guy, is going to start a football game. The Raiders are going to come out on their 30, 1st and 10. Gino's going to look to his left. He's going to have Jacoby Myers to the right. Deontay Thornton's going to be split out wide. Trey Tucker's going to be in the slot. Brock Bowers is going to be at one tight end. And then maybe Besh, the wide receiver at TCU, will be split in the left slot. And Genty's going to be standing up like Michael Myers in the back. That's going to be the starting offense for the Raiders with Gino. Who's not going to be on their feet at Allegiant Stadium going, hey, hold on. Let's watch this offense. That offense better be clicking. Chip Kelly's going to unleash a playbook that we haven't seen around here since when? Nothing against Norvell Turner, a fine man, and his son, Scott. Josh McDaniels had one of the greatest playbooks in the history of football, but for whatever reason, they didn't use it a lot. They didn't. I don't think they had the quarterbacks. Jimmy Garoppolo, we wanted him to be good. They drafted Aiden. We want him to be good. But, Gardner Minshew, Gino can handle everything in the playbook now. And Chip Kelly's getting paid, I think, $6 million, which is head coach money, to open up this offense. And Pete Carroll's going to want to open up the offense. But Pete's going to want to run the ball. And he's going to want to run it violently. And the Raiders went out, and the Raiders got 2 young offensive linemen that look to be big and strong and physical on top of the running backs that they already have. So when I look at this Raiders rookie class, and they're going to debut tomorrow, they have the potential to have a rookie class that can go in and maybe do something special. This is a rookie class that if 2 or 3 of the players pop, the Raiders could be right back in it. Ashton Genty, number 6 overall. Jack Besh, who can do a lot of things, a lot of different things, man. He's a highly motivated player. We know what happened to his brother. Darian Porter, who was a converted wide receiver at cornerback, who wore number 26. He's got to play. mean, who's going to play cornerback, everybody? This guy, Darian Porter, was drafted pretty high. He's got to play with Ja'Cory Bennett. The people who are taking shots at the Raiders, including Raider Nation, are telling me on X that we don't have corners and we don't have a secondary. I wouldn't go that far. It's not an elite corner and secondary group. It might not be above average until they prove themselves. But that's what competition Pete's all about. Then they got a guard and a tackle and Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant, who are significantly ready to go. I don't know if they're going to win the starting job or not. But Pete Carroll will tell us eventually on the radio, because Pete does not care where you came from, what you get paid. He does not care. He looks at tape after practice. The better player will play. My favorite draft pick overall was Deontay Thornton. He'll wear number 10. He wore that as a freshman at Oregon. He went to Tennessee. He's a speedster. Tonka Hemingway. J.J. Piggs, who comes in at 92, who might be getting the ball first and goal ahead of Genty. Tommy Millott can probably do a bunch of different things. They want to convert him into an Julian Edelman type player, Wes Welker type player. Well, what are we doing with Dylan Lobby? What are we converting him into? We brought him in to convert him to something. Third down back, whatever. Tommy Millott could be lined up in the slot. Initially, like a poor man's Hunter Renfrow. I mean, it's hard to say you're going to be Hunter Renfrow. Hunter caught 100 balls, became a Pro Bowler. And then quarterback Cam Miller, who everybody tells me is really good. Cam Miller, who's gonna compete. We might be calling his name in the preseason a lot. And Cody Lindenberg, who's the linebacker who was taken last. So the rookie class will debut tomorrow. If you want to talk about who do you think is the rookie that you think is the most unsung in this class? So that means you can't say Ashton Genty. Man, I'm digging for topics, Andrew. I mean, that's a big topic, right? I am not sitting here. Again, I was watching the Pope. I got an excuse today. I didn't build my topic tree like the consultants want, but that would be my topic. Which Raider draft pick, other than Ashton Genty, could be the Raider Rookie of the Year if the Raiders voted on it? 702-365-9200. I'm going Deontay Thornton. I want a 6'5" guy who's going to catch fade routes in the corner. I want first and goal at the 6. I want single coverage on Thornton. I just want like a little volleyball set. You know how they set the volleyball over the net? I want someone, Gino, to throw a lob and this guy to jump over a 6'1" corner and just rip the ball from him and get his feet in for a touchdown. I think that's going to happen because he could be a touchdown machine. So we open up with that, 702-365-9200 as we get going. An exciting day today. Match my energy. The show started 15 minutes ago. All right, let me get to the Knicks last night and start with Jalen Brunson down the stretch. I mean, the guy has a Superman's cape on every time he plays the game. The guy pops in down the stretch in this game. He has to carry the team. He was able to do it.
Rebound Towns ahead to Brunson. Final minute. Speeds ahead. Steps in the lane. Right hand layup. It's good. Jalen Brunson puts the Knicks in front by 3.
Puts the Knicks up, and then the Knicks are just fighting for their lives defensively. And then Boston gets the ball in at the end, and they try to give it to Tatum. Tatum loses the ball. He fumbles it. He's going to his left, which is not his strength. He runs himself into the corner for a fall-away jump shot. This shows you, and you'll hear it, how unprepared the Celtics are to run a play. You got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum there, and it looked like a fire drill. No one knew what they were doing. Here's how it ended on Knicks radio.
Tatum across midcourt with 10. Top of the key with 8. Defended by Robinson with 7. Right wing 3. Crossover. Foul line with 4. Left block. Step back. Stolen by Bridges. Bridges chucks it down court. They've done it again. They've done it again. The New York Knicks take both in Boston and a 2-0 lead heading back to the Mecca.
Knicks radio on the call there. They'll go back to the Mecca. It's on brand for the Knicks to lose Game 3. I'm hoping they win Game 3. I'll be in Scottsdale to watch it. I'm actually leaving to get there to watch the game earlier. That's how big of a Knicks fan I am, and I'm excited about that. After the game, Joe Mazzulla, guy's matter of fact, he's a championship coach for the Celtics. He doesn't seem too concerned.
I mean, you're down 2-0 heading on the road. So, you have an understanding of your environment, what you're up against. There's also obviously a lot of things that we're doing well, but then there's things that we need to be extremely better at in those situations. So, obviously you have an understanding of the environment. You're down 0-2. So, we got to get on the road and we got to find a way to win.
It's going to be a hostile environment, but I expect Boston not to miss 75 threes out of 100. I mean, I really do. I expect Boston to make some threes. It's like a baseball hitter. It's like a batter, like Judge, not hitting a home run for 10 games. He's going to hit a home run. It's just a matter of time until the Celtics start knocking down some threes. And when they do, they're going to come in bunches. For Tom Thibodeau, the head coach of the Knicks, I thought he's doing a masterful job with the substitutions, getting guys in and out late in games, but he knows 2-0 is not very safe.
And that's the playoffs. You got to keep fighting. Every possession matters. And you got to play all 48 minutes. And so we started slowly, got in a big hole, dug our way out, and then guys made a lot of tough plays. They were at their best when their best was needed down the stretch.
So I love it. I love the NBA when it's playing well. And I love the NBA when teams play really badly against my team, if that makes sense. So if you're watching the NBA, I throw this out on my national show, and I got 9 people on hold here. I can't buy a call with a $50 gift card on the NBA. Do we need an NBA team to come here first or what? Do we need to move an NBA team here? We're doing sports today, people. It's the NBA. Let's go. Are you watching it or not? A lot of my friends aren't watching it. Oh, I'm on my text group. All guys have a text group. I got about 4 or 5 guys. Hey, NBA tonight. I got buddies saying not interested. What? How are you not interested in the NBA? Got people not interested in the NBA. Just don't like it. They think it's too political. It's too woke. I'm like, really? That's your problem, man? You can't watch it because you tie politics to sports? Why don't we leave politics out of sports and try to do that? But people don't watch the NBA as much. And when the numbers stink and they go up a little bit, ESPN puts out confetti and press releases and tells you that their ratings are up. You notice ESPN never tells you when their ratings are down? Like the last 4 years, NBA ratings have been down. And they don't put out a press release with confetti cannons saying, NBA ratings are down 7.3% over the last 2 years. But when they're up 4%, oh, my God, man, they have a parade down Main Street. So there's a lot of fans that are excited about the NBA. I'm one of them because I have a dog in the fight, and I'm excited about that. And then finally, as I am desperate to hear from a Vegas Golden Knight fan. I'm like desperate. Because it's everything that I'm about. Everything that I'm about is having fun and going and having a good time in an arena or a stadium. It really is. If you know me and you bump into me at games, I'm trying to have a great time when I'm not working, even if I am working. Tonight, we need the city to really get into this game. The game starts at 6:30. That means your job is not significant after 4. That's it. Bobby's got to work because he's running the game. But by 4 o'clock, set your alarm on your cell phone. Just set your alarm. You know how to do it. And at 4 o'clock, you leave work, you get home, you get to the bar, you go to the game, you tailgate, you do everything for this Vegas Golden Knight team. Because they could give us another month of joy, or they can give us 3 more games and get swept. Yeah. And after the way they got just pummeled after that 2-0 lead and went down into the tank, I am concerned. I am concerned, but I'm hoping for something good tonight. So let's hear from a Vegas Golden Knight fan in Vegas today. And what we will do for the best call, I'll give away a $50 Grimaldi gift card. With $50, I get a salad, I get a Brooklyn Bridge, I get a beverage. You can feed a couple people on a $50 Grimaldi gift card here, only for the VGK today, because I'm desperate. And thank God I got $50 gift cards and a great promoter here. Because we're not doing a podcast today. Wake everybody up, man. Say what you will about me. Can you imagine if I came in here and mailed it in? You'd never let me live it down. So we got a hockey game tonight. Let's sound off like you got a pair. And have a little banana mezcal. Mezcal is interesting. You either love it, you like it, or you don't get it. A lot of people love tequila. A lot of people love other type of tequila drinks. You like a margarita. If you try banana mezcal, because we did a taste test. They brought it in. They want to be on the show. We put them on the show. Incredible. Not as smoky as others. It goes down really smooth. You can mix and match it, but for those who know mezcal, it's Banaa, B-N-A-A-A, mezcal. New proud partner of our show. I think you're going to like it a lot. And when I did the tasting and they came in, I was blown away. Normally, I'm like, well, yeah, I'll try it. I'll see what it's like. I said, woo, this got me. Smelled great, not heavy smoke, didn't knock me over. So Banaa Mezcal, proud partner of the show. 702-365-9200. Vince Sapienza here in about 20 minutes. And then we'll talk about the firemen's game against the police. God, who do I root for? I'm pro-cop and I'm pro-fireman. God, I love the cops and I love the firemen. Who are you going to root for? That's interesting. We'll find out coming up at the top of the hour. Raiders rookie camp tomorrow. That's exciting. And we're open for business today on a gorgeous Thursday, May 8th. Yeah, I do 25 minutes and no one calls because they just listen in awe and they go, oh, and then they might call during a break.
It makes you not want to do a call-in show, right?
Yeah, it makes you not want to do a call-in show because I don't need to do a call. Just do a show, man.
Just do a show.
Just do 2 hours of me, man. I try to put the callers on the air, give them some love.
Give them a giveaway and everything.
But the problem is our industry is failing everybody because the industry now has shows with like one famous guy and 6 people interrupting him wearing costumes, and they don't take calls.
Right.
And Colin Coward, who's very good, very successful, hasn't taken a call in 10 years.
Right.
So when you have a radio host that are on TV and radio not going to the phones, then you get people in our business that are like, well, that's like the past. All right. I don't beg for calls. I just surprise most people aren't excited to talk.
Exactly.
Sports.
Participate.
You know? Yes, it's called participating.
Right.
But I guess people don't care. You know, most of these program directors, we got Q's, who's on the air 6 hours a day. He's good. Most of these program directors have never done a radio show, have never hosted a show, would pee down their leg if they had to host 10 minutes.
Right.
So they read consultant newsletters and say, it's not about the calls, it's about the host. Well, I'm a solo host. I got to talk for 6 hours a day some days. It's nice to hear a human being.
Right.
You know, but if no big deal, no big deal. But I love when the consultants say, it's not about the calls, it's about you. Really, no shit, program director. Why don't you try to do what I do? Why don't you try to get your ass out of your office in a skyscraper and come down and do what we do? I'm on a rant. I'm on a good radio rant. I hope my son clips this.
You on a good YouTube rant right now?
I'm on a good YouTube rant.
I'm just going to fire off some follow-up emails that I sent the other day. And
okay.
See if I can shake some trees here and get somebody to respond.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're shaking trees.
Maybe it's too soon to respond to these people that I emailed on Tuesday. What's today? Thursday? Jason with 1800 tequila. I may give him a couple more days.
Yeah.
And the other one was Fountain Blue. They just never respond. Fountain Blue.
Yeah, we got to put that email together again for Resorts World. The body of that.
Okay.
You know, because I'm ready to send that out probably before I leave for the weekend.
You want me just to summarize like what we've done for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'll do it now while we're sitting here, and then
Can you play that Brady cut talking about the advice he gave should have?
Okay. Quiet Sports Day. Not a lot of breaking news in sports today. Not a big breaking news day.
We started in 2021 with Resorts World.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell him 4 years. Make sure he knows.
Yep, that's what I want to know.
Okay.
That's Rob, owner of Desert Springs Pools and Spas. Go to DesertSpringsPools.com to find out just how easy and affordable it is to have your very own backyard oasis.
Pirates fire their manager. Yeah.
We say yes to less stress and no to auto loan payments. Say yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay. Finance your new or used car with us, or with your current auto loan, and don't make any payments for 90 days.
Yes, as a practicing Catholic, I love an American Pope. Why not? I I think this goes back to the conclave to the 1500s, and we've never had an American Pope. All right.
All righty.
All righty.
Visit their 10 casinos across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by the Casa Verde Law Group. If you get injured in an accident, call 702-222-9999.
Elephant in the room, Shedeur Sanders. What happened, Tom? Why did he go so late in the draft?
It's a good question. I wasn't a part of any evaluation process or
Skip Bayless says otherwise.
No. Well, everyone's got that's the problem with media is everyone can just say whatever they want. I actually texted Shedeur because I know him very well. And I said, dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft. I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it.
All right, that's Tom Brady, who's the new minority owner of the Raiders. How about that for a soundbite on Shedeur? And he said, quote, I know Shedeur very well. So I was talking to Gooch, our great rock jock, as I walked in today on this topic. I believe by this time next year, so a year from today, or May, June of next year, Shedeur will be the starting quarterback from Cleveland. Everybody had Shedeur, most everybody. That's a big net, so I rarely throw that net out. But most NFL insiders had Shedeur as a first-round pick, second round the latest. So if there were like 7 guys who had Shedeur going in the 5th round, this wouldn't be a topic, right? No one would be talking about this. And Tom Brady just said, I know him well. And the Raiders didn't take him. So I was talking to Gooch, who's a Cleveland fan, and I said, look, you got Dylan Gabriel, you got him, Flacco, whoever you got. You're going to get to the point now where Shedeur will be the starter at some point. And I think he'll be pretty good because he is pretty good. And that's what hurts when social media gets involved in a topic. From time to time, social media will take a movie, a rock performance, a concert performance, and it will get caught in the wave of negativity. And then all of a sudden, it'll be deemed negative when it was super positive. And that's what I'm thinking is happening now with sports and social media. Anybody can retweet a game-winning shot. Anybody can retweet, a game-winning goal. But when you actually have to put your thumbs on your phone and tweet something and give an opinion, a lot of people want to go for the opinion that's negative. I fall into that category a bunch. My team loses a game, I freak out, I act like a 14-year-old. But that's what happened to Shedeur. In real time during the NFL draft, his stock was dropping, and people piled on. You can't debate that. That's what happened. And there were a couple of rational people. Mel Kiper's pretty rational, and he lost his mind. And then Daniel Jeremiah is sitting there on NFL Network's desk, and he's like, I don't know what to tell you. The kid's a good player. And you started to see people ask why they didn't draft him. So I'm going to tie that back into the Raiders. Once he got past the 2nd or 3rd round, the Raiders were too busy getting good players in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round. And so much so that they were trading back at an alarming rate, John Spytek, to get more players. And it didn't seem to hurt him. To get Jack Bash, you could tell, and I can't wait to sit down with John and ask this to Coach Carroll once we get a chance to get in there again. They knew they wanted Jack Bash. He was on their board very high, and they were worthy enough to move back and get him. When you move back and get offensive linemen, when you move back and get players who are high on your draft board, that's risky because all it takes is one team to go, oh, I like Bash too. Let's trade up and get him. He's perfect for our team. So the way I looked at the draft and studied it and talked about it was that the Raiders knew who they wanted, and they were going to get their guys, and they were willing to move back and risk losing a few players because they graded players differently now in this new regime. That's the big change here. That's not a knock on Tom Telesco. I thought Tom Telesco had a really good draft. Tom Telesco can go into any restaurant the rest of his life and say, I'm the guy who drafted Justin Herbert and Brock Bowers to the Raiders. That's pretty cool. And there's been some good draft picks around here. Mike Mayock, guy by the name of Mike Mayock, Max Crosby, and John Gruden in the 4th round. Pretty good pick. Future Hall of Famer in my mind. But this draft class is really important because the Raiders needed more bodies. And they needed to move back to get more players. And they were able to do it. So, as I said, who do you think is going to be the rookie other than Ashton Genty who has the biggest impact? It's hard for me to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a rookie corner who's a former wide receiver. But it could be. It could be. I just don't know. I'm expecting it to be Ashton Genty. That's too easy. So I went with, Deontay Thornton, the wide receiver, because I think he does something that most people can't do. You can't teach height. He's 6'5". So when you're 6'5", you can come in and make plays that guys who are 6'1" and 6'2" just can't make. If Trey Tucker is as fast, or say he's identically fast to what we're going to see with Thornton. Well, if the ball is a 50-50 ball, Trey Tucker's not going to be able to go get that at a consistent rate the way a 6'5" guy can do that. So I'm looking at what the Raiders are going to be able to do, and they're going to have to get these rookies on offense up to speed with Chip Kelly. I think the philosophy on defense is going to be fine with Pete Carroll and Patrick Graham. I mean, Pete Carroll retained Patrick Graham. He could have got any defensive coordinator he wanted. I mean, really could have. You don't think Pete Carroll's got like 13 defensive coordinators he could have hired other than Patrick Graham? He kept Patrick Graham because he knows, I believe, that Patrick Graham's going to be a head coach, possibly in the next cycle. You don't want that guy to leave the building. Plus, the Raider players that are coming back play hard for Patrick Graham, led by Max Crosby. So Pete Carroll wants to bring in his style of defense along with Patrick Graham and mold these players. The other day, I was looking at the Raiders schedule from last year because the schedule's coming out on May 14th. And the Raiders opened up at the Chargers and lost 22-10. And it was a closer game than you thought. It was really a one-score game. Chargers got one. And then the Raiders beat the Ravens. Remember that? It was the greatest 12 minutes of football last year. 12 minutes in the 4th quarter. Gardner Minshew beat the Ravens. I was like, man, what a win. I mean, wasn't that great? The Raiders were 1-1. They're 1-1. Half the league's 1-1. They're okay. Then the home opener was the Panthers and the Red Rifle Andy Dalton. And we got smoked. We got smoked by Andy Dalton, 36-22. That was a message to come. That was a message to come. But the following week, we, the Raider Nation, beat the Browns. And the Browns are pretty good. Browns got a good roster, man. They're a lot like the Raiders, man. They got a good roster. They didn't have a quarterback, but they got good players. We were 2-2 last year. Raise your hand and beep your horn with the schedule coming out May 14th. If I told you 2-2, would you take it? Right now, what would you say? In your car, yell it. Would you say, yes, you take it, or do you want 4-0, 3-1? Last year, the Raiders were 2-2. That was good. They beat the Ravens and the Browns in the AFC North. Then they lost 10 in a row. 10 in a row. Just the domino effect. Lost to the Broncos. Remember the Surtain 100-yard interception? Lost to the Steelers badly. Lost to the Rams 2015 in a game we should have won. Lost to the Chiefs 27-20. God, we played the Chiefs well. Got beat badly by the Bengals 41-24. I traveled to Miami for the Dolphins game 34-19. Broncos came in and swept us. They swept us. Game 2, they beat us 29-19. Then we lost at the Chiefs on Black Friday. Anybody remember the score? Anybody? 19-17. We lost 19-17 to the Chiefs. Remember we fumbled the snap? Aiden wasn't ready. Jackson Powers Johnson snapped it. The ball came out. We're going to win that game on a field goal. We lost. Then we lost to the Buccaneers 29-13. Then we lost to the Falcons 15-9. That was 10 in a row. And at that point, Bobby reminded me, every call I took was lose them all. And I said, no, they're not going to lose them all. Then the Raiders won back-to-back games right before Christmas to the Jaguars, 19-14. Best game of the year win-wise at the Saints, 25-10. And then we lost to the Chargers on January 5th, the last game we played, 34-20. Now, why did I bring up the schedule? Because the schedule comes out next week. And if the Raiders started off after the first 4 games 2-2, I don't know. I wouldn't be happy. I don't get happy at 2-2. I'm not going to have a parade here. But they were 2-2 last year. And everybody thought at the end of the year they sucked because they lost 10 in a row. You couldn't argue that. I couldn't argue. What am I going to do? Argue it? Now we have an opportunity, the Raiders do, to have a new schedule with some interesting opponents, including the Cowboys coming in, at the Eagles, the world champs, at the Patriots, who are vastly improved. So I'm already studying the schedule potential. I don't think we're going to play Indy and Berlin, but we could play Indy and Berlin, right? I hope they don't give us the same crap they do every year, opening up with the Chargers home or on the road. Aren't we all done with that garbage? Schedule comes out, first game of the year, we're at SoFi against the Chargers, or they're here. I don't want to see the Chargers for like a month or two. We don't need to see the Chargers week 1. And Denver, no, I'd like to see Denver early, Bobby. That's interesting. I'd like to see Denver early. I'd like them to come after Bo Nix and really destroy him opening game. Yeah, I'd like that. And then the rest of the schedule is just going to play out. I'm predicting 3 nationally televised games. Last year we had 1. Well, you count the Good Friday game. It was the only game on. I don't count that. That's a standalone game. I'm talking Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. My guess, just a prediction, we get 3. 2 of them are at home. We get a Sunday night or a Monday night game early, and we get a Sunday, Monday on the road. And, of course, we're going to get a Thursday night game, most likely against the Chargers or the Denver or Kansas City. But I think that schedule is going to pop. I'm off Monday, Tuesday. Harry's in for my son's college graduation. Then we're going to have a massive show, and then it looks like I'll be broadcasting from the Raiders on Thursday as we get ready for Thursday with the schedule release. So that's it. That's what we got coming up here, 702-365-9200. Vince Sapienza is going to join us coming up. He previews the Knights. Golden Knights play at home, and that's going to be a really important game. And with schedule release, there's only one place to go other than Raiders.com, the Black Hole. Go to theblackhole.com, and they will instantly turn around the schedule with links, travel, itineraries, parties, and all you got to do is become a member for $60. And you're a member for life. Go to theblackhole.com, and become a member and be a part of football's most notorious fan base. All right, Andrew, good seeing you.
Bobby, can you shoot me a couple of those?
Yes, Bobby, we'll shoot you a few of those.
That Banab one, that one, Grimaldi's. If you do give away the Grimaldi's,
yeah, we're trying to give away the Grimaldi's, as you said. I just talked for fucking 40 minutes to myself, so that was nice.
Well, you didn't talk to yourself.
Yeah, I did.
You talked by yourself.
I talked by myself. That's a good way to say it. Yes.
All right.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you. I'll be back next week.
I don't know if it's what you were looking for, but I just emailed you the Resorts World.
Yeah, that's good. I'll put that back.
And try to put it from your perspective.
Yep, I will.
Reminding them of what we do, what we've done together.
Yeah.
Oh shit! How do I do that? All right, I'm gonna leave the chair right where it is. I'll let you slide it. Here, I don't want to touch anything. Sorry. The chair caught it.
We're good.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. I work in a facility where I don't have a lot of snow. We're good.
Well, we should have cameras here. We might have glass. What'd you say, man? Take care. Raider Nation, what's your name?
Because a better tomorrow starts with better sleep. Sleep easy.
And we call them.
When you are injured, knowing that someone has your back
You said Jay?
My family has spent over 3 decades fighting and pursuing justice
Fair
for
enough.
the injured. It's a long family heritage that we proudly carry on.
Yeah, give him a few minutes. And the rant, right?
Yeah, hang on 1 second. I'm going to try to get you up first there. Hold on.
This is Raider Nation Radio, 920 AM. The home.
Yeah, I don't want to watch sports. I want to watch the Pope. Give me the remote, please. I want to watch the Pope. Is that the guide or is it the other one? I'll do whatever cable news channel has the Pope on. Because if you say Fox News, people go crazy. If you say CNN, people yell at you. I like CNN for hurricanes and Pope coverage. CNN does the best job at breaking news. You had it back there. Go back. I'll go up 2 more. 21. Yeah, that's good. Right there. Go back 1. That's fine. Yep. No, now there. Right there. Vatican. You're not okay. Thank you. Thank you.
It was an old boy once. I know what it
Yeah.
All right. So let's get her and I'll give me time. That's a woman, by the way.
Okay.
And I'll give you a couple minutes to get Sapienza.
San Diego with that?
Correct.
Thank you.
By the way, once you get off, I got a couple things we got to discuss for next week.
All right. Yep. Yeah, I don't mind taking off this time of year because there's just there's nothing going on. But NBA and people on this channel don't give a shit about the NBA, and I do. So we got to figure that out. I'm not MAGA at all, Paolo. I'm not MAGA at all. So don't give me shit about what you think I am when you don't know what I am. So we'll put you in little baby timeout too for that stupid ass comment. Let's put him in the timeout. How long? We'll put him in a 30-minute baby diaper timeout. Yeah. Yeah, we'll put Paolo in a 30-minute timeout so we can change his diaper.
This is going to be Stone's power play goal.
Stone's power play goal?
Correct.
Okay.
Of the Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste, brewed with fighting spirit since 1925.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka. Visit Tito'sVodka.com.
To the right half wall again for Olofsson. Up top, Fedor. He shoots. Score! Power play goal. Mark Stone parked at the left side of the crease. Vegas has the first goal of round 2.
Mark Stone gave Vegas a 2-0 lead against Edmonton, and then Edmonton scored 4 in a row. That's brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. We're always talking about Tito's, my go-to vodka here, probably yours too, but now they're on the radio with us, which is a great partnership. It's one of America's greatest success stories. It makes the good stuff for good times. They have recipes, videos, and more. Tito'sVodka.com, distilled and bottled by Fifth Generation Inc. That's Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly. Tito's, proud partner of our show. So we'll get to Vince coming up here in a minute, as I'm sure he'll be there early at the Fortress. Raider Jay in San Diego. What's happening?
Hey, JT. How you doing? First-time caller, long-time listener since I've been a Raider fan since I was in a crib. So I took your challenge of people not calling because I've been listening to the radio.
You're the only caller I had today. No one's called me. I feel depressed. I feel weak. Yeah. I feel like I shouldn't be doing this for a living until Raider Jay called, a woman from San Diego who's a Raider fan. You made my day.
Yeah, that's right. I was also a radio, television, and film major, so I respect what you do, and I listen to you almost every day.
Thank you.
Anyway, I wanted to call because you were talking about the schedule, and you were, talking about last year. Mm-hmm. And yeah, after we were 2-2, I was feeling good. I'll admit, I was on the AP train. I thought AOC should have been the starter from the get-go, but not my decision. And listen, this year, if we were 2-2, yeah, I would be happy. But I think fans get caught up and they forget, look at our coaching staff. We have better coaching staff. Our OC can actually recover and adjust and use fancy movements and, different plays that last year we had like D team calling plays. So we had no adjustments after halftime. We looked the same all game, and it looked like we had no idea what we were doing. So I have full confidence in this coaching staff that we'll be able to adjust and actually come out and score points in the second half. Second of all these fans are griping that the Raiders deserve more credit. And we, even you've said we deserve more national games. Look, I'm a Raider fan till I freaking die. We need to win games. If we don't win games, we don't get crap. So once we start winning, I think we deserve that stuff. Lastly, fans also, please stop saying the Raiders haven't done anything in the offseason. You don't understand the business of the NFL. And if you're watching the moves that this front office is making and you've ever worked in leadership your entire life, you know that these are big moves and we actually have adults in the building. Every single move that has been made this offseason has an adult's stamp on it. And I think that's the biggest difference.
Wow. Hire her. Just put her on the payroll. Hire her. Thank you, Raider J. Appreciate it. Please call again. I needed that. I needed that shot of adrenaline as Vince Sapienza joins that. You hear that with Vince because he's got co-hosts and he can take a breath. I can't take a breath during the show if I don't hear from a gal calling in from San Diego. What do you think, Vince, about Raider J? She's